Well. Bears football is finally back, and I'm here to talk about Chicago Bears football. And today was our very first preseason game, and as well as the very first Bears game of the year, as well as the first Bears game with fans back in Soldier Field. Man, was that a fun ending to the second quarter, and then a crazy fun third quarter with Justin Fields, just impressing and dazzling Chicago Bears Nation. I know. That was great. Now that's what I paid for. Well, that's what I paid to freaking watch on my TV. So the Bears beat the Dolphins 20 to 13 in the preseason for their first game in the preseason. I'm not really going to care about the freaking score because who the hell cares? Most of the preseason is just looking at players and seeing developmentally wise how they look in a live game sense and how can they help out this team in the future. And I guess give some critiques and everything. But so I guess you can say some things I liked. We'll save Justin Fields for last because I want to end the video on a high note. So one thing I came out of this game lacking is the defense. I thought the defense, honestly, at first, in some semblances, looked like the defense of old where they just couldn't get stops. But at the same time, when they needed to get a stop, they needed to get a stop, other than really giving up a touchdown to end the half. When a team got into the red zone, hey, they held them to a field goal, and that's the best thing you can do, at least if you can't three and out an opposing team. Just hold them to a field goal. And I thought the Bears did that. So just holding the team to 2 field goals and a touchdown and holding them to 13 points, honestly, is actually pretty good in my books. So Sean Desai's defense looks to be pretty damn good. I'm not going to say it's great, but from what I saw, it looked pretty good. Although, in some cases, definitely, in that one stretch where it looked like we couldn't get a stop to save our lives, the backups were in. So, yeah, I guess one guy that pretty much impressed me on defense was probably Alec Ogletree, other than getting burnt by Gasheki, the tight end for the Dolphins. I thought he had a pretty solid game, to be honest. And after that play by Gasheki, there was a part where it was like 3rd and 1 on the goal line, and he shoots a gap perfectly, and he manages to stop the running back from getting into the end zone. So I thought Alec Ogletree played a fairly good game. He was definitely a standout player on the defense today. There was another person, I forgot his name, but I think it was number 90. He was pretty good as well. I was actually I liked Chris Tonga as well. I thought he was pretty good, and we definitely see the depth at the D-line. The D-line has a lot of depth there. So, yeah. I know Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack played. Robert Quinn actually did affect the pass rush of Tua. So, yeah. So the front seven, well, the D-line seems to be good. Backups for the front seven for the linebackers seem to be fairly good to Trevathan and Roquan. Now in terms of the back end of the defense, it was meh, to be honest. It wasn't anything impressive. Tua was throwing duck footballs all over the place, and they were somehow being completed. I don't know how, nor do I care. Just get better at that. So yeah. We had a pick. We had a few turnovers. We had an interception and I believe a fumble. So there's like a turnover bucket from what I've been hearing. So that was good. And we got a nice pick in front of Adam Shaheen. DeAndre Houston Carson, I believe, picked him right in front of Adam Shaheen. Fun fact about Adam Shaheen, he didn't really impress at all. Like his return to Chicago, he didn't even impress. He didn't even show up the team. And funny enough, in practice, he got bulldozed by freaking Khalil Mack. So hey, that's what you get when you don't want to probably take the vaccine, right? Yeah, that's what you get. Payback, huh? Again, like I said, I thought the defense looked pretty solid. I thought they had a pretty nice, solid outing. So definitely, you can see Sean Desai wants to bring that grittiness and that toughness back to this Bears defense. And again, like I said, we're 2 turnover stage. So obviously, that's the number one thing Sean Desai wants us to get back to, and that's turning the ball over, where it gives us chance for our offense to get a chance in the game and do damage with those turnovers. So, yeah. What am I looking here? What are some other things I like? Some other things I liked other than Justin Fields. Not much, to be honest. I thought the running backs were pretty good. Definitely, I do like Khalil Hebert and Williams back at back, especially. And funny enough, Montgomery got like 1 carry, and then he's already coming out limping. And then I guess the Bears didn't take his chance with that. And they're like, yeah, sit over. But definitely like it. There was somebody who said, like, what was the point of Tariq Cohen if we have a pretty solid, backing thing with Hebert, Montgomery, and Williams. And I was like, yeah, you're kind of right, but Cohen is still kind of nice in there. Cohen didn't play in today's game because he's still on the PUP list from his ACL surgery. So I like what the running backs gave us, even running backs that are essentially practice squad players. There was like 1 big run by Artavis Pierce and even Ryan Nall, your typical, long run by him. So, yeah. Other than that, that's kind of it for things I liked. And like I said, I'm only going to the only last thing other than Justin Fields that I'm going to like, or I'm going to end this video off and not talking about Justin Fields. So let's move on to 2 things that I kind of didn't like. 1, special teams. I don't care if it's preseason, but special teams today was horrible. Punt was terrible. Freaking kickoff was terrible. My God, punt return was awful because I think you had like 2 guys actually muff the punts. Like, what the hell are we doing? Kickoff had bad kickoff coverage. Don't know what. Guys freaking getting surplus amount of yards over no reason. And talking about freaking no freaking coverage, punt coverage was even worse. My God, there was like 3 to 4 freaking punts we had in this game that it was awful coverage. And you had a guy on the Dolphins scamper for like 10+ yards. And I'm like, it's punt coverage. Get off your blocks, go tackle somebody on the other end and surround him and gang tackle him. Guys missing tackles, letting guys go loose and yada, yada, yada. Don't know why, but I've always said, listen, I don't know why the Bears keep Chris Tabor, who's the special teams coach. He sucks, clearly, and his punt coverage is ass. Like, literally. No guys were making an effort to make a tackle or an effort to get down the field and hustle and go make a tackle to stop a freaking 10+ yard punt return to a freaking 5-yard punt return. I feel like we're going to get a punt return touchdown on us at one point this season. It was terrible coverage on the punt. That was probably the one thing that kind of pissed me off the most importantly of this damn game, other than the Matt Nagy bullshit play calls. So, yeah. One thing I didn't like about the defense is the fact that we had many times where we had Jacoby Brissett, Tua, and even the 3rd-string Dolphins quarterback and a chance to freaking bring them down in second. We never did. There was countless times where freaking Tua and freaking the 3rd-string quarterback and even Brissett got out of freaking harm's way and eluded and then got out of a sack. Now, most of the sacks were mostly made by 2nd and 3rd-string guys that are trying to fight for a spot on a roster. I don't care. Bring the dude down. I don't care how strong Jacoby Brissett is. I don't care. Bring him down. Get a hand on him and bring him down. It honestly infuriated me that we couldn't tackle a freaking quarterback and couldn't sack him down to the ground. Like, literally. Too many times. And the defense, like, in the middle part, at the ending part of the first quarter, and the middle part in the third quarter, did not look particularly good. And I did not like the fact that we gave up a freaking a freaking touchdown with like 45 seconds left to go in the freaking second quarter. Did not like that. That was typical Bears old defense and stuff like that. Hate when we give up touchdowns, especially before the end of a half. So, obviously, the one thing that's going to probably definitely tie into Justin Fields is another thing I didn't like is the fact that Matt Nagy's playbook is still the same old Matt Nagy offense, playbook, whatever you want to call it. Matt Nagy's offense is the same old Matt Nagy's offense. In other words, what I mean is this. We barely moved the ball at all in the first half, and it wasn't until Justin Fields actually started to calm down, be better poised, and got a more feel of what the defense was giving him was literally when the offense boomed. So Andy Dalton comes in. He did nothing special. Andy Dalton essentially did the same thing Justin Fields' first few drives was doing. And to be honest, Justin Fields was mostly checking down passes, and then when he went down the field, guess what? They were great passes. Andy Dalton can make the check down passes. I don't know if he can make those deep passes, especially in the money like Justin Fields does. So, Andy Dalton, if you ask me, did he impress me? No, because guess what? Justin Fields could do the same exact thing as Andy Dalton was giving me today. So, what the hell's the point? Why is he QB1? No reason. So Andy Dalton didn't impress me. Nick Foles, after Justin Fields is done, guess what? He had a horrible first drive, and Bear fans were already booing his ass. I don't care if you're a Bears reporter or any national meeting, you say, I think Bear fans should be a little bit more grateful. I don't think you should boo Nick Foles like that. It's like only preseason. It's freaking. Oh, please. After the show Justin Fields put on not too long ago, the last couple of drives, we go to this clown? And plus, too, Bears fans had to sit at home reluctantly having to watch this guy go 2-5 in his stint as a Chicago Bears starter. He sucked. So he rightfully deserves to get his ass booed, too. And if I was in Soldier Field, I would have booed him, too, off the field. Apparently, I heard he made a press conference talking like he don't even want to be in Chicago no more. So, okay, fine. Then we'll just boo you. If you don't want to be here, I don't care. I don't care. If I have anybody on my favorite teams for any professional sport talk like they don't want to be there, I'm gonna boo them because it's like, okay, then you can F off. It's the same thing like I made about my Mitchell Trubisky video not too long ago about him ripping the Chicago Bears, thinking they did him wrong when really the Bears did him no wrong. It was really Matt Nagy with a combination of himself. But Nick Foles didn't impress me at all. I saw Nick Foles. First pass he does, he throws it completely out of bounds. Yeah, and you want me to frickin' say, hey, let's have Andy Dalton starting over Justin Fields after Justin Fields literally frickin' impressed the entire Bears fans in frickin' Soldier Field, and you had frickin' Bear fans saying in the stadium after he was done playing, QB1, essentially telling Matt Nagy, dude, you better start this guy because guess what? We're not playing around anymore. If we see frickin' Andy Dalton, we're going to be booing. And honestly, I don't care. If Andy Dalton's starting, by the time week 2 comes around, Bear fans should be booing if Andy Dalton's starting. Because why start Andy Dalton? I've always said this. You get Justin Fields. You traded up for Justin Fields for a reason. Put him in the game. I don't care. I have one of my friends telling him, well, he's got to learn and stuff like that. I don't care. He's learning if he's playing the game. Like one drive Justin Fields had, which was probably his worst drive of the year, of the season, of the game for him, was he forced a pass that was almost intercepted, and then 2 on a run he fumbles the ball because he doesn't cover the ball up. Or the better thing, what he should do is that he should slide. So that's the one thing that he could have did that he didn't do. And that was probably the worst thing. And guess what? He's gonna learn. He's gonna have hiccups. He's gonna have mistakes. He's not gonna be perfect. I already know he's not gonna be perfect. Yes, he's gonna make a mistake. He's a rookie, but I'd rather have him play these games because eventually, why sit him when he's gonna be playing in the game anyway, learning it the hard way? And plus, technically, in a position where you're in win now mode, where your coach and your GM needs to win games to keep their jobs alive, guess what? I think you would start the guy you traded up to get, not some Andy Dalton that probably only is going to be starting a few games because his $3 million incentive bonus kick in. Probably, well, the thing is, well, he's got to play a certain amount of games and then he gets his $3 million bonus up in his contract from $10 million to $13 million. But anyways, the Matt Nagy offense was anemic, horrible. It was the same old Matt Nagy offense that I saw literally from 2 years ago. Not moving the ball whatsoever for an entire first quarter and second quarter. You finally get a first down with 27 seconds left to go in the first quarter. What the hell? I don't care. It's only preseason. I don't care. If you're getting your first down in a game, in a football game, 27 seconds into the second, or, left in the second quarter, what does that tell me about your offense? You stink. Your offense sucks. I've always said this. Matt Nagy is a terrible play caller. He's an awful play caller, and he has no offensive scheme. His offensive scheme is just lines, and it's a Denny's menu. That's what it is. He's got the Denny's menu. It's Denny's playbook. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know if he wants $2, a $4, an $8, a $6 order. He doesn't know if he wants a cheeseburger or a freaking 2 pancakes with bacon and sausage and hash. He doesn't know. His offense stinks. And you can clearly see it. It took Fields a few drives to settle in and finally figure out, okay, what are they going to give me and stuff like that? Because his offense wasn't working, and Fields made the offense look even 10 times better than what it ever did in the past. Especially when Fields was locked in. Then you go from Fields' great performance back to terrible Nick Foles. Oh. So Matt Nagy's offense seems to be the same old Matt Nagy's offense. Like one was, this man freaking, it's like early first quarter. With the second drive, we get the ball. He alludes to pass the ball on 3rd and 2 instead of run it. Yeah, that's typical Matt Nagy. I don't believe, again, like I said, I've never believed Matt Nagy is a trooper when it comes to running the ball. And funny enough, he said, oh, yeah, we're going to give Montgomery some carries. Oh, please. Oh, you know damn well you want to throw the ball over the field. Don't get me started with that bullshit. Anyways, let's end the video off on a high note. Yes, a high note. And talk about our main man, our future, Justin Fields, and why he needs to be QB number 1, especially after even one preseason game. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. Oh, it was only one preseason game. Don't get so happy about it. It's just one. Don't care. What I saw there was, why is he going to be freaking sitting? What? To just look at a bunch of pages and be like, that's how you do this, that's how you do that, that's how you do that. He ain't going to learn it if he don't play it. So why sit him? Especially the fact that he can do the same thing Andy Dalton does, but better. You clearly saw the things that, well, guess what Justin Fields can do that Andy Dalton can do, but better. For one, the one thing we already know without a shadow of doubt that Justin Fields can do better than Andy Dalton is the fact that he can actually run the ball and use his legs. The one thing that he definitely can do better than Andy Dalton and definitely did better than frickin' Mitch is the fact that when he moved the pocket, guess what? He's so dynamic, you don't know if he's going to run or if he's going to beat you with his arm. There was times and times again where you had Justin Fields on a rollout in this game, and the defense of the Dolphins didn't know if he was going to run it or if he was going to pass it. And sometimes he would throw the ball across his body and completed pass. There was one time where he was literally looked like he was going to run the ball, and the defender, obviously the corner, leaves off the receiver because he's like, I got to get Fields. Fields just overthrows it or throws it over the defender's head, and Easy first down completion to the receiver right then and there. The receiver that the corner trailed off of to go get Fields. And I was like, Mitch would have never did that. What Mitch would have did is he would have ran it and still stayed trying to run it because he would have been too damn afraid. Or he would have just threw it out of fucking bounds because, hey, he's afraid. The next thing I liked about Fields in this whole thing was his deep ball accuracy. We finally have a quarterback that can throw the ball down the field. The deep pass for a fade for 20-plus yards. Thank God. Not only the Jesse James pass from across his body, from across the field, but the one pass I forgot to Adams, I believe that was his name. Beautiful ball. Beautiful ball. That was him. That pass to Adams and the Jesse James one were the two best throws of the game he had, in my opinion. Like that was great stuff. That was great stuff. And guess what? With the fact that he's so type of, he's so good with his legs. And funny enough, he did run for a first down in this game. And one thing I did like about the fact that after the fumble he had, when he started to run and he went on his own runs, he went quickly. He gets some yardages and goes out of bounds, knowing I can't take these hits because one, I can get myself hurt, and two, I could potentially fumble the ball. And many of the scamper runs he had in that third quarter, he got some good yards and then ran right out of bounds before the defender was able to pop him. And he got one of his touchdowns off a pop running into the end zone. So I like that one too, where he escaped the pocket. He saw that his first option was taken. He looked at his check down. He soon knew that his check down wasn't going to get anywhere close to the end zone. And he was like, let me take this to my own end. He eludes the defender. And he runs to the left sideline, and he just lowers his shoulder down because he sees a defender coming to hit him, and he just gets in there and boom, touchdown. And this is why we brought him here. He was like one of the best red zone, quarterbacks in college football. And guess what? We actually got it there. If Mitch was in control of that offense, we would have not scored a touchdown. It would have been, us kicking a field goal and getting 3 points. And again, like I said, the throws he made, some of the throws he made, Mitch would have never made. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you're still a Mitch fan. There was some throws he would have not made that Mitch would have not made that Justin Fields made today. And it was clearly evident. And Justin Fields brought an electricity to Soldier Field that I have never seen before. Yes, I said it. In my lifetime of being a Bears fan, I've never seen what Justin Fields did. That was some great shit. That was some great stuff. I was like, this is why I would pay $200. This is why I would pay crazy amounts of money to watch this. This is what I would pay to watch. Not Mitchell Trubisky, not Andy Dalton, not Nick Foles. I don't pay to watch those clowns. I pay to watch guys that are money like Justin Fields. The one time I agree with LeBron James because I'm a LeBron James signified hater because I'm a Clippers fan and he's on the Lakers, and I don't even like LeBron James to begin with anyways. The one time I actually agree with him with one of his tweets saying Justin Fields is special and he's a young king. I definitely agree with that statement. My God. And for the first time, it felt so good to have a quarterback that was a Bears quarterback that was calm, collected, poised. This man, after his first few drives in the second quarter, and on the drive when he leads us to get 3 points to end the half, he was very poised. He sunk it in. He was like, okay, yep, I got it. I got a feel of this now. And, he worked. And then starting off the second half, he went right down the field and scored us a touchdown. Calm, collected, poised. Felt like the moment wasn't too big for him. That's what you like to see out of your young quarterback who's going to be the face of your franchise. With Mitch, I never saw calm, collected, poised. All I saw, and you could see every time they zoomed in on his face, from his face, man, you can see him looking around, looking unsure, looking like he doesn't know what he's doing, and looking like he is scared. They zoomed in on Justin Fields. You can see he's looking around. He's got confidence, control of the huddle, and he looks like a guy that's like, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for the moment. And he looked poised in the pocket 10 times better than Mitch ever did. And my God, it was just beautiful to see. That third quarter, wonderful. Just wonderful stuff by Justin Fields. Again, like I said, just because Justin Fields was good today doesn't mean he didn't have some bad moments. Like I said, he tried to force a pass that was almost picked off, and then he fumbled the ball today. Luckily, the Bears got it back. He got it back his own fumble. But again, these are the life lessons that you can teach him. Like, hey, next time, don't do that. Next time, if you're running the ball, cover the ball up and get out of bounds or slide. So, yeah. And listen, game like this, show me all I need to know. He needs to be QB number one. He needs to be QB number one. So stop wasting my time saying Matt Nagy's little dumbass saying, oh, Andy Dalton's going to be starter number one. He's going to be QB1. Really? Andy Dalton's going to get the equivalent of you. This season would give you the equivalent of 3 to 4 wins. Justin Fields, at least I'll give him, with how tough the schedule is, will get you 8 to 9 wins in that season. Why start? Why mess around with Andy Dalton when you're going to piss off half the damn fan base when Andy Dalton stinks up the joint and isn't doing anything right? You're going to have fans and Soldier Field booing him, be like, dude, we don't want him. We came here for Justin Fields. We don't want to see Andy Dalton. That's what I'm saying. Chicago Bear fans do not pay. We as Chicago Bear fans, I'm not paying my money to go watch Andy Dalton. I live in California. I could go see the Bears versus Rams. The reason why I haven't bought my ticket yet is because I don't know if Andy Dalton's starting. If Andy Dalton's starting, then I'm not gonna buy me a freaking ticket. Now you'll find me a cold day in hell if you're telling me that I'm gonna buy a ticket to go watch Andy fucking Dalton. No, if Justin Fields is starting week 1, sign me up. I'll buy my tickets on the fucking spot. I don't care how much money it is. I don't care. It could be $300. I'll go buy my ticket right now. Because I'm not going to go over here. I'm not going to go pay for a Bears game to waste $200 to see mediocre play from an average quarterback. No, I'm not going to do that to myself. Just start Justin Fields from the jump. Let him learn, and let's go. He's brought here for a reason. He makes mistakes. Fine. You can correct him on that. But from what I saw here, you can clearly see he can be against some of the best players in the league. And he can go against the number 1 defenses in the league, the best defensive players in the league, and not be fazed. Definitely, he'll have butterflies in his stomach, but, eventually those are going to go away, and it's just going to be typical good stuff. And I feel like this game today is only going to help Fields get even better, feel even more confident going to the Buffalo Bills game next Saturday against the returning Mitchell Trubisky. Oh, yeah, Mitchell Trubisky in his Bills debut, he didn't look too good. One, the Bills didn't want to make him pass. Apparently, from what I heard, they were going to make the Bills going to pass all over the field. But Mitchell Trubisky, they ran the ball more than they passed. And guess what? His first pass of the night, he underthrew his receiver. Oh, trust and believe. I'll be back next week to talk Bears, because I hope this time Mitchell Trubisky plays more, gets more reps in at the backup quarterback in this game than he did in the first game. Because Mitchell Trubisky only played like 2 drives, 2 or 3 drives, and then his night was done. Hopefully in the Bears game, Mitchell Trubisky plays a lot, and especially I can't wait to see him matched up against Fields. My God, I hope the defense is able to get his ass too. So I need Sean Desai to bring the pressure. It's going to be very interesting. And I've always said this. When Mitchell Trubisky runs onto the field, hopefully my Bear fans boo his ass. Because he definitely deserves after the blasphemous comments he made. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Justin Fields looked impressive today. Defense was pretty solid. There's some things that need to be worked. And Matt Nagy's offense still stinks. And also, Justin Fields needs to be QB1 number 1. There was a reason why the fan base at Soldier Field was chanting QB number 1. Because we're done with this bullshit. Don't force feed me Andy Dalton. because I'll throw it all up. Anyways, the Bears win. So I guess that's good. That makes it even better on top of the fact that Justin Fields really impressed. So other than that, I'm probably just going to go enjoy my day and watch the other young quarterbacks hopefully flop because I want to see them flop like Jordan Love. But other than that, I'm going to get out of here. So if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on how Justin Fields did in his debut with the Bears. Do you believe that he should be QB number one? And other things you took away from this Bears game that you liked. Other than that, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Chicago Bears content. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. So I'll see you guys next week for Chicago Bears versus Buffalo Bills game preview or game recap. Other than that, guys, I'm going to get over. Catch you guys later. Peace.